Guys. I haven't made a video in a little while. I've been not too sure what to say or how to portray my thoughts. I guess these times my thoughts are a little all over the place like everybody else's. And I'm not getting any counseling. I'm not even speaking to people very often. I mean, I have my friends, but that's about it right now. So I guess I'm just kind of left with my thoughts and here with my family. I'm lucky I have my family. So lucky I have my family. But I did have an experience a couple of days ago that affected me, and I wanted to talk about it because I knew that I'm not the only one this is happening to. So, okay. So, dealing with COVID, we're all wearing masks, gloves, trying to keep social distancing, washing our hands, using hand sanitizer, trying not to touch our face, not touch anything. I think the part that gets me the worst is the fear. Everyone's afraid. Like, everyone's afraid. I was going to get lumber with my mom because we're going to make some garden beds to be able to grow our own vegetables, teach Nevaeh a bit of how to garden and how to maintain. So we went down to the lumber yard in our hometown, and they have a whole new procedure where you have to order ahead and then go and pick up. And we didn't know this. I called ahead of time and said, "Oh, what time you open until?" And she just gave me the hours and didn't tell me that there was this process to go through. So we got there, and then there were signs outside the door, and I was like, "Whoa, what do we do?" I tried standing on one side, and then I was like, "I think I'm on the wrong side." So then I went and stood on the other side, and there was a couple of guys hanging out, obviously waiting for their orders, but I didn't know what was going on. So I'm like standing there, and I feel lost. I know I look lost, and there's like no workers out because they're helping people already, and I can't go in the store. The lady in the store gives me a dirty look as soon as I start to go in the store. So I'm like, "Whoa, okay, wait." A guy says to me, "Oh, you have to call in your order." I'm like, "Oh, crap. Okay, thank you," right? So then I go over to the side and I call the order in, and they're like, "Oh, okay, well, we're not too sure when we're going to get to it." And I'm like, "Okay, well, we kind of didn't know we were supposed to do this, so we're downtown right now." I'm like, we have no problem taking our time and loitering a bit until it's ready. And he was like, "Okay, no problem." So then I'm trying to keep Nevaeh busy, and we decide, okay, let's take a little walk. So me, Mom, and Nevaeh, right, all three of us went in the car together. I can't leave Nevaeh at home, and both Mom and I need to be able to hold on to the wood and strap it in and all that other stuff. So there's a reason why the three of us went together. So anyways, we're walking around trying to kill time. We go around a big block, and we still got lots of time. Nevaeh and Mom say they're hungry. They want to have lunch. They want to have something to drink. So we head up to the downtown core, and we start walking down the street, and there's people crossing a crosswalk. There's people coming at us. And so I kind of pull my mom and my daughter into the alcove of a store. And I hear the gentleman walking towards us, and he's muttering under his breath, but you can totally hear what he's saying. Like, he's saying it loud enough for everyone to hear. And he's like, "I thought people are supposed to be social distancing. What are these people doing right here?" And, he's swearing and everything and just being ornery about it. And I mean, I'm uncomfortable with the fact that I've got people coming this way from the crosswalk, and I've got people coming this way, and the people coming this way are like aggravated at the fact that I'm even standing here with my family trying to get down the street to get them some food. So after standing there, letting them pass, letting the people that came from the crosswalk pass, they got ahead of us. They were walking really slow, so fortunately they pulled over and we were able to get around. And it was a negative experience. All we were trying to do was go get some food and get some drink. And there was nothing really open that was appealing or healthy enough that I could eat it. So we decided to forego it after walking downtown, and then the one place they wanted to eat at was closed. So we got the phone call once we got to the end of downtown saying our lumber's ready. So we turned and went back to go get our lumber. Now, I went in to pay, and I had to wait outside and get an invoice, and then I had to walk in the door to go and pay. So I'm trying to keep the 3 to 6 feet difference between me and the cashier. As I'm walking up to pay, I've got my debit card out. I'm like ready to pay. I don't want to touch anything or get close to anybody. I mean, I'm trying to obey the rules too. And she goes, "Oh, you're supposed to stand over there." Like, quite rushed to me. And I was like, okay, no problem, right? And I look and I see that there's a little X on the floor. Perfect. I stand on the X, right? Now I got to pay. I'm reaching for the card holder. I get the receipt back. Tell her, "Have a great day." The end of that, right? Last night, or that night, not last night, it was the night before last. As I was laying in bed, I almost made a video late at night, but I was too tired to turn on all the brightness. But I started to cry because, I mean, I'm scared. Everyone's scared they're going to get sick. That's one thing. Everyone's scared that their loved ones are going to get sick. That's another thing. But to be scared to the point of being rude, and I mean, the guy that was rude down the street, he was out walking in the middle of the sidewalk with his friend in front of him and complaining to his friend in front of him. They're taking up the whole sidewalk, walking right in the middle. So, I mean, he could have moved over. He wasn't wearing a mask. He wasn't wearing gloves. But yet he was griping loud enough about social distancing and how nobody's doing it. And I hear a lot of people saying nobody's doing it. And you see there's people in the stores, there's people on the trails, there's people walking around. Like, a lot of people are out. But I believe majority of people are trying to keep a distance. I mean, even in grocery stores, we like, oh. And then as soon as we go to pass somebody, we have to turn against the wall and like, hold our breath until we get past them. Like, we're all trying here. I just don't think there's room to be rude. And I think it's not helping any of us. Myself included. I have a lot of anxiety. And even before COVID, I was already dealing with anxiety and depression and PTSD. And now I've got it's like a whole other ballgame that I'm dealing with that I think I'm going to have to continue to deal with, right? Like, it's not ending anytime soon. But I don't want to go out to the stores and have people give me dirty looks because I've had to bring my child because I'm a single mother and I don't have somebody at home at all times to be able to leave her with. So, and we need to get prescriptions every other week or so, and milk and bread, right? So I don't want to be judged for taking her to the store or taking her on her scooter and walking there because it's the first time we've been out in 2 weeks, right? I think the judgment needs to stop. I think the fear needs to be accepted, but also acknowledged that projecting it doesn't help. And to remember that we're all in this together and we're all going through the same thing. I don't know. Just have some more compassion, people. And self-forgiveness too, because I know even as myself, like, I've been scared and I've had to say to my mom, "Hey mom, that's not 6 feet, and like, you're standing too close to that guy." And I've had to tell her, "I'm sorry. It's just I'm trying to help. I'm trying to make sure she doesn't get sick. I'm trying to make sure he doesn't get offended. I'm trying to keep everyone safe." And even my mom and I talked about it the next morning after both of us went to bed and talked about our experience that day. And we both said how much it was affecting us and how much it hurt. And I mean, even people that are very well mentally off right now, I'm sure they're feeling it too. So let's all just be human and kind. Love you all. Stay safe out there. Wash your hands. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And check out my blog.